Relationships are an amazing thing. Having someone by your side that you can truly trust is irreplaceable by anything else. Traditionally, they're meant to be private and intimate, but of course that changes when you're in the public eye, as content creators, whether it be from YouTube or Twitch, have a habit of exposing aspects about their personal life, which in turn does make them seem more genuine and can give the viewer a better understanding of who they're watching. Even things you don't want out there and wanted to keep private always seem to be dug up by persistent viewers. It's what separates them from traditional media, as it's a kind of one-way friend you know so much about, and well, they really don't know anything about you. So it would make sense to have opinions about the ongoings of these creators' lives or some drama they might be going through. But if we flip that perspective around to the content creator side, it's more than bizarre to see hundreds upon thousands of people you don't know commenting about you and what you're going through, especially when whatever situation you're in is more complicated than meets the eye. This can lead to a lot of misinformation and mischaracterization about you, and depending on the situation can elevate a somewhat bandwagon where newcomers that come across this drama will most likely accept it willingly without questioning the validity of what's being said, which makes it even more frustrating for the content creator to diffuse the situation. And the worst kinds of these comment threats possible are not the ones about you per se, but instead someone that you're close to and care about.
Now, also talking about my girlfriend, look, I know a lot of you guys hate me, okay? I know a lot of you don't like me, you just hate me. But there is no reason to put the hate on my girlfriend like a lot of you do, like on Twitter or Reddit or whatever. She is just a girl that's with me and she gets all the hate and she's like, look, I don't understand, what I didn't do anything and I get all of the hate for no reason. It feels like some of you want to get back to me by hating on her.
Which is where we get into the volatility of streamers and relationships. Many large streamers and YouTubers, especially in gaming, have little to no friends outside of their platform. They live the best, worst lives possible. As a child, it might sound amazing to play games all day and get paid for it, but the part that's often neglected is that if that's your career, you want to be doing it as much as possible to further yourself or your channel might fade away. So you sacrifice other things in life like school or work, which is where you are most likely to meet other normal people that aren't wrapped up in this strange adverse reality that is online entertainment. So it's more than common for content creators to develop depression. And what makes it worse is when they have no one close to talk to about it, because many of them are conscious about what they share with others because it can always be used against them. And this blurs the lines between your personal life and your online one, which is a hazardous thing to mix together. But of course, a good way to counter this is to get into a healthy relationship and share your feelings and try to make sense of what you're going through with someone that you trust and you know is not using you to further their own career. This can be great, and has been a way to improve the quality of life of many content creators. But when viewers get involved, usually in a non-supportive fashion, like in the cases of Isnspired, Sodapoppin, and a friend, has also done its part of separating their community from them to the fault of malicious viewers, which only make up a small fraction of any given community but always seem to get the most attention. This is what I'd like to call the relationship effect, and it only gets worse with those that lack experience in relationships. A good example of this would be what a friend went through. Someone that has had very little to no prior relationship experience suddenly gets contacted by a female fan and they start talking and developing an interest in one another. So naturally he takes less time uploading YouTube videos and focusing on living a somewhat normal life. Instead of living in the repetitive cycle of sleeping, playing, and eating, he's being exposed to a side of life he's never seen thanks to this female fan. But since his uploads are slowing down and he's taking less of an interest in YouTube, a fair portion of his viewers start attacking his girlfriend and blaming her for everything wrong with him. And of course, what any rational person would do in this situation would be to defend their significant other, especially if it's from strangers that know very little about their personal relationship. And when it comes to communities like these, it makes it harder to accept it as a whole. Even if only a small portion go out of their way to do these kinds of things, you kind of have to distance yourself from them in order to defend the person you're with. After all, it was your status that put them in the crossfire of your fans. Something that would kill any content creator and why many try their damnedest to keep these things private. But still, things weren't perfect in their relationship, as they would have an eventual falling out where we would learn that she wasn't a saint either.
The dude is a gaslight victim. He said this over and over again on stream. You were gaslighting me, I was gaslighted. Now, what exactly does that mean? What is gaslighting? If you go on Google, basically says gaslight is a form of manipulation when a person makes you question your own sanity.
As Oak Dice pointed out, he was most likely being gaslighted by his girlfriend throughout the course of their relationship, as she had him essentially close his clan chat and cut ties with many viewers close to him under the pretense that his viewers wanted to see his relationship fail, which as the hate accumulated towards them only strengthened her grip on him. As it was later revealed, his ex-girlfriend lied about taking contraceptives and will lead to an unintended pregnancy. She would also try to get him to cut ties with his family because of jealousy, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. Again, a big reason she was able to get away with this was because of the guilt she had placed on him and from the constant hate she would get from his viewers. These kinds of comments had the opposite of its intended effect and neither helps the community nor the content creator. Another good example of this would be what happened to Poseidon and his ex-girlfriend, who would get massive disapproval from his fanbase, which would put him in a similar situation as a friend, where his ex-girlfriend would suffer from the harassment and insult from a fair portion of his fans. This escalated to a point where he felt that he needed to fake a breakup to appease them both, and for a while this worked. He was for the most part able to get the best side of both worlds by keeping his relationship private, which goes to show how little influence she ended up having on the streams, as many, although deceived viewers, would believe that the quality of the streams improved because they thought he was no longer with his girlfriend. So he pretty much hit them with a placebo, and it worked, until the relationship was exposed and he threw his girlfriend under the bus, which placed those supporting the relationship in the past against Ice, which put them on the same side as those who opposed it in the first place. This in turn created a massive wave of hate that still hasn't settled till this day. With any relationship, the more people that you get involved, the more complicated it gets, as you have to deal with different parties and their opinions, which omits a large portion of communication from your partner. For example, if you had a friend that hated your significant other and would constantly say unreasonably bad things about them, you would be obligated to tell everything to your significant other or simply cut that friend off. Which, even though many comments do come as a form of constructive criticism and some of these viewers feel like they're looking out for you when they comment about your relationship, that's not the message that is received, as it feels like you want to deny them a form of happiness and builds a frustration that you are not accepting of their judgment, like somehow you know the person they're dating better than they do. Where for the more delusional types, it can also be seen as a form of jealousy, where before, a content creator like Sodapoppin might disclose most aspects about his life and help build a relationship with his viewers by being transparent about nearly everything. This goes back to the feeling of having an online friend, where it seems an increasing number of people lack close friends and rely on content creators to fill that void or to live vicariously through their lives and form some kind of attachment too. Some even going as far and actually believing that they're actually their friend and will go to great lengths to meet them. So let's say when Sodapoppin wants to keep something secret or decides not to discuss it on stream, most of us will respect his privacy. But others will find his Facebook, a secret Instagram account, or Twitter and dig out any possible information they can. This is only made worse when the person they're also seeing is a streamer, which was the case with Sodapoppin and legendary Leah. When you stream for over 5 hours on a daily basis, you are bound to have a Freudian slip and then have viewers send that clip to whoever was discussed in that video. Something that was meant to be kept private is now in the hands of thousands of people. Then this drama will bring in more people and will make your relationship akin to a showpiece, which definitely doesn't help keep it private, as you will now have viewers watching for the sake of drama. You'll also be constantly reminded about it through chat spam or donations. And with the aftermath of all of this, we got this clip from Sodapoppin.
Do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't have a girlfriend. If I got a girlfriend, I'd probably not tell you guys, though. I probably wouldn't. I would not publicize it. I would not make it a big deal, because that went really, really, really badly last time. Then again, my ex also live streamed, so it's kind of impossible to keep that a secret, but yeah.
And of course, there are many healthy and functional relationships like those of Kriparian and Rania, or the ones of Ethan and Ela Klein, where fans gladly support the relationship. But still, this is an ongoing issue with many content creators. But some seem to be improving on the way they manage it, such as Poseidon. His new girlfriend is still getting a lot of hate, all while praising his ex-girlfriend that they used to hate. So in reality, the point of this video was not to show the adverse effects that relationships have on content creators, but instead the effect those few malicious viewers that cross boundaries have on others' lives. And with something as fragile as relationships, it makes it the perfect target for them to strike, as most harassment can be brushed off, as you can block someone on Twitch or even hide a user's comments from your YouTube channel. But what you can't do is stop these viewers from going after the people close to you, which is where it really hurts. It doesn't benefit the content creator, and it only gives a bad name to the community. Everyone deserves a right to form a healthy relationship, and something those viewers tend to forget is most of these content creators are not invincible and go through the same things that we do. So whenever you see someone changing massively, it could be their significant other. But chances are, it's just them distancing themselves from the harassment they're receiving from the community. Thank you for watching.